Okay, so this is a video on some of my blog websites that I created for, well, I didn't create them, I wrote about them for my 10 blogs assignment, which was back in October, and I'm making a screencast Omatic video just showing you guys some of the things that I decided to write about, and I'm going to take you to a few of the websites that I gathered some of the information from. So I have 10 here, and we're not going to be able to cover all of them in this video, so I decided to pick out some of the ones that I felt that I should share with you. Let's start off with this one right here. This is an awesome website that me and my father use when we go hiking up in New Hampshire. We go hiking in the White Mountains, which is some of the most beautiful mountainous terrain, some of the best views that you're going to get in the entire state of New Hampshire. And what better time of the year to go when all the leaves are changing colors in the fall, and it's pretty spectacular. Their fall is completely different than the fall that we have in here in downstate New York. You get literally every tree has this beautiful shade of red, oranges, golds, just absolutely incredible, and it's just spectacular to see it. And what better time to go when the leaves are in their peak colors. So this website, which is seasonal, it's inactive pretty much 90% of the year until the fall comes. It will give you the exact date that you're going to have peak foliage. And for instance, this previous tracker from last October said that the peak was going to be on the 12th of October, which sounds about right. It usually ranges from the second to third week in October, and it's going to be in that range of days. And we use this website to calculate exactly to the T what day we're going to be there and what day we're going to be up on the mountains, and just getting those breathtaking views, and to get some awesome pictures, video, and just make it an awesome, memorable experience. So this is a really key website that we use. Definitely felt that it was important to write about it in one of my blogs. Next up, we're going to take a look at this one right here, the stink bug invasion. This is a website that I decided to write about because I see these stink bugs every year, and I'm sure you too. You really can't avoid them. They're absolutely everywhere, these little bugs. And of course, hence the name stink bug, they are pretty nasty, especially if you irritate them. They release this really noxious smell. And this is a website that's just telling you ways to get through it. It gives you information on where they came from, how it got its name, why they're causing a problem. They're pretty much an agricultural pest problem, not really so much to like anything else but crops, but still, they are a pest when you find them in your house in the winter, and you don't want them in your house, because what worse thing to see when you have one crawling in your bed or crawling somewhere. And I've had them land in my hair before, and I whacked it out of my hair once, one of these bugs, and I had the smell in my hair for days. I couldn't get it out, even after trying to clean it and condition it. It was just awful. And it's telling you what you can do to stop them. You can use pesticides. That's probably the last resort option, is to use chemicals, but it's saying that good sealing to really seal up all the cracks and crevices where these bugs get into your home. That's really the best, most proficient way to stop them from entering your house. But definitely felt that this was interesting. I really enjoyed writing about this one, because this is a bug that I literally see almost every other day. No matter where I am, they're just all over the place. Definitely a crazy invasion that we've got going on with these stink bugs. Alright, next up, let's take a look at this website right here. 4 simple tips for hosting an owl in your backyard. So I love wildlife. Owls are definitely some of my favorite birds. There's just something about them. They're just so mesmerizing and peaceful, and it looks like they just don't have a care in the world except to just sit there and look good for you when you see them. And owls are just spectacular. We moved recently, and our old house was sitting on about 7 acres of just untouched woods. And why didn't that just go in? There we go. So we used to have this house that sat on about 7-8 acres of just untouched, peaceful, nice remote woods, and we had owls you wouldn't believe how many barred owls we had living in our woods, calling all the time. You would hear them almost every night, and their calls are just so relaxing and so enjoyable to listen to. I would open my window even in the dead of winter just so I can hear them. Really, really nice to listen to when you wake up in the middle of the night and you just hear these owls calling. This is just a website that explains to you how you can attract them to your property. And believe it or not, these are actually really, really good, effective ways to draw in owls. It tells you that you can provide shelters in the form of nest boxes, which are basically just boxes made of wood with holes in them, and they'll draw in owls like you wouldn't believe. They work. And it's also saying other things like keeping cats inside, because these birds are indeed afraid of cats and they don't want to be anywhere near your house cat, because cats will kill small owls, believe it or not. No pesticides. Owls are very sensitive to types of change in their environment, and chemicals like insecticides will definitely keep them away from your property. Very, very, very good information here if you are interested in attracting this type of bird to your backyard. So I really liked writing about this one too. I thought this one would be cool to write about. Alright, so that was that website. Now let's take a look at this one. This is another article I wrote about another type of animal, an insect. Not the stink bug, a little bit different than the stink bug. Definitely one that's a little bit more, I would say more appealing to people. It's a caterpillar. And who doesn't love seeing a nice big furry caterpillar? But if you see this big furry caterpillar, I definitely recommend that you run, because this is not a caterpillar that you would want to touch. So this is a hickory tussock moth, aka the black and white caterpillar. And this is actually a very, very poisonous species of caterpillar. And these were actually native to the western continental United States. They were introduced somehow into the Northeast. And I've heard about these a long time ago. I didn't have any interest in them until I spotted one in the woods. I took a picture of it, went online and found out what it was, and now they're apparently becoming very, very established here, which isn't good because they are indeed poisonous, and if you touch them and your skin has an allergic reaction to it, it could actually, your body can actually go into anaphylactic shock, and there's actually been deaths recorded from people having bad allergic reactions to the spines, which have these little glands at the base of them that inject the poison into your skin. And you won't feel anything at first, but you'll see that there is a reaction in your skin, and people react to it sometimes in a bad manner, and it can be really, really dangerous. So this is one I thought was interesting. They tell you about the larval stage, which is the stage that you have to be concerned about. Just like any other caterpillar, it eventually turns into a chrysalis and then metamorphosizes into a butterfly. It's actually a type of moth. This isn't a butterfly, it's a moth, and this is that's the picture of the moth right there. So definitely completely different looking from what it turned out or started out to be. Definitely thought this was also an interesting topic, and definitely really enjoyed writing about this one too. Alright, the last one I think I should talk about is refined sugar and what it does to your body. So sugar, I've had a sweet tooth for as long as I can remember, and I really started becoming aware of just how bad sugar is, especially white sugar that's processed. It's literally just straight chemicals, and it's so bad to ingest it into your body. And to think that a lot of people think they can avoid eating and consuming sugar because, they'll eat something like sweet that's got natural sugars in it. Well, believe it or not, natural sugars are actually can be just as bad for you as actual white processed sugar, depending on how much you intake and how much you consume at any given time. But this website gives you the basic lowdowns of things that actually do contain a lot of sugar. And what I also found interesting is the products that they talk about in here. For instance, marinara sauce, peanut butter. Peanut butter is a no-brainer. Peanut butter is sweet, but marinara sauce, like they go through quite a few things in this article about things that contain it, from the obviouses to sugar sweetened drinks, sodas, juices, teas. They're all loaded with fructose, which is a type of simple sugar. And they also tell you that how consuming too much of it, obviously, it can increase your chances of things like heart disease, diabetes, if you have diabetes, and that's a type of condition that is passed through heritage, and you can inherit the genes to be more susceptible to getting diabetes. So that's something that does run in my family, and I felt that this was really, really important to mention and talk about. Sugar can be linked to increases in acne. Sugar is diabetes, just spoke about that. This is the one I was really, really, really more concerned about, increasing your risk of cancer. And this is something I was completely unaware of. I always thought sugar sugar is proven to feed cancer and make it worse if you're already an agent for cancer and you already have it for whatever reason that might be. But it could actually lead to an increased inflammation in your body, and this could cause resistance to insulin, and this is one thing that could lead to an increased cancer risk. I'm trying to highlight it where I just read it, and it keeps grabbing all that. Yeah, this is where I just read that from, this article right here. So yeah, I thought this was important for my overall health, and after reading this article, seeing it on TV for the past probably month, they've been talking about how drinking things like 1 to 2 glasses of Coke per week can actually increase your chances of being more susceptible to cancer significantly, and that's kind of scary considering that Americans and how much sugar and how much sugary foods that we consume, and a lot of us, especially kids, think that they're immune to everything and they're not at risk for these health problems down the road. Well, it turns out nobody's young forever, and if you continue to have bad dietary habits down the road and you don't know what you're susceptible to as you begin to age, you could really, really find yourself in a bad situation. I wanted to make myself aware of this, and sugar is something that I eat and I still consume daily. I have been trying to limit my intake significantly, which is going to overall increase my health and be better for my overall health. So I felt this was very, very important to discuss. So that's it. I went over 5 of them. It's over a 12-minute video already, but I went through 5 of these blogs, or these articles about blogs, that I found very interesting, and I think that we're going to call it here. So hope you enjoyed, and that's going to be the end of the video.